Hello everyone. Thank you very much for coming back to my channel. Now we continue to the next four ways to evaluate children's books for racism and sexism. Uh, exactly number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the way number 6 is to consider the effect on the child's self-image. So you can evaluate the books by using these questions. Are norms established which limit any child's aspirations and self concept? What effect can it have on images of the color white as the ultimate in beauty, cleanliness, virtue, etc., and the color black as I feel, dirty, menacing, etc.? Does the book counteract or reinforce this positive association with the color white and negative association with the black? Then you continue with these questions. What happens to a girl's self image when she reads that boys perform all of the brave and important deeds? What about a girl's self esteem if she is not fair, of skin, and slim of the body? In particular story, is there one or more persons with whom a minority child can readily identify a positive and constructive M? Uh, That is number 6, considering the effect on the child's self-image. The way number 7 to evaluate the books, children's books for racism and sexism is by considering the author's or illustrator's background. Analyze the biographical material on the jacket flap or the back of the book. If a story deals with a minority theme, what qualifies the author or illustrator to deal with the subject? If the authors and illustrators are not members of the minority being written about, is there anything in their background that would specifically recommend them as the creator of these books? The way number 8 is by checking out the author's perspective. The previous one is number 7 is considering the author's illustrator's background. Now, checking out the author's perspective. How can we do it? Well, no authors can be wholly objective actually. All authors write of a cultural as well as personal context. Children's books in the past have traditionally come from authors who were white and who were members of the middle class. When with one result being that a single ethnocentric perspective has dominated children's literature in USA and also in the world. So, with any book in question, read carefully to determine whether the directions of the author's perspective substantially weakens or strengthens the value of his or her written work. Is the perspective patriarchal or feminist? Is it solely Orient-centric, or do minority cultures' perspective also appear? Number 9, uh, the way number 9 is by watching for loaded words. Watching for loaded words. A word is loaded when it has insulting overtones. Examples of loaded adjectives, usually racist, are savage, primitive, lazy, superstitious, treacherous, really crafty, inscrutable, docile, and backward. So we have to look for sexist language and adjectives that exclude or ridicule women. Look for use of the male pronoun of to refer to both males and females. While the generic use of the word man was accepted in the past, its use today is outmoded. The following examples show how sexist language can be avoided. Okay, ancestor instead of forefathers. So ancestor is more accepted than forefathers. Then chairperson instead of chairman, community instead of brotherhood, firefighters instead of firemen, manufacturer instead of man-made, the human family instead of the family of man. So you have to watch that loaded words. The last but not least, the last one is number 10, looking at the copyright date. Why and how? Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers 10 of evaluating children's books for racism and sexism is looking at the copyright date. Books on minority themes, usually hastily conceived, suddenly began appearing in the mid 1960s in USA. There followed a growing number of minority experience books to meet the new market demand, but most of these were still written by the white authors, edited by white editors, and published by white publishers. Then they therefore reflected a white point of view. Not until the early 1970s has the children's book work begun to even remotely reflect the realities of multiracial society. The new direction resulted from the emergence of minority authors writing about their own experiences. Unfortunately, this trend has been reversing as publishers have cut back on such books. Non-sexist books, with rare exceptions, were published before 1973. As a result, copyright dates, therefore, can be a clue as to how likely the book is to be overtly racist or sexist. Although a recent copyright date, of course, is no guarantee of books' relevance or sensitivity. The copyright dates, of course, is no guarantee of a book's. The copyright date only means the year the book was published. It usually takes about 2 years from the time manuscript is submitted to the publisher to the time it is actually printed and put to the market. So this time lag mean very little in the past. But in a time of rapid change and changing consciousness, when children's books publishing is attempting to be relevant, it's becoming increasingly significant. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I can say that there are 10 quick ways to analyze children's book for racism and sexism. First, you have to check the illustration. Second, check the storyline. Third, look at the lifestyle. Fourth, weigh the relationship between people. Five, note the heroes. Then number six, consider the effect on a child's self-image. Seven, considers the author's or illustrator's background. Eight, check out the author's perspective. Nine, watch for loaded words. And the last number 10, look at the copyright date. So now you can practice it. Thank you very much for your attention. Um, we are going to meet again in other videos. See you again and have a great day.